everybody, it's Irene with BrainStormAcres, and I am finishing up the project that Henry and I started yesterday. We're making sweet pickle relish. It's simply from the very old Wall's Blue Book that we have, and I am literally just doing it the way they say to in the book. Essentially, we chopped all the veggies, soaked them in the brine, rinsed the brine, and then soak them overnight, a minimum of 12 hours, a maximum of 18, in hot, well, it's hot when it starts, spiced brine. That's in here. It's been heated up now. The jars have been heated over here. They're simply the little jelly jars. And I have a hot water bath canner here. And I am going to be filling these jars and putting lids on them. I have a whole new thing of lids here. And then I'm going to be putting rings on them over here, sticking them in here. I do have a rack. I don't love this rack. It's not great for the little jars, but it's the only one I have, unfortunately. So I have other racks that are way smaller, but they kind of don't make sense because it's wasteful. So I'm just going to do this. I have a limited amount of battery on the camera today, so I'm going to start the process and then I'll finish the process basically. So I've got this turned down to simmer, that turned down to simmer. This is plenty hot. This is a hot pack technique where you this is turned down as far as it can go. I may just actually turn it off at this point. And I'm just going to pack this stuff into hot jars. And I'll do, this has to be processed according to the ingredient, the recipe, for 10 minutes, but we're high altitude, so we have to do it for 20. So I am going to start the process of loading this stuff up. Going to put a rag on the counter to prevent thermal shock. Oh, I do have one over here, that's right. I got the stuff most of the way into the kitchen, but not all the way. Very silly. I was interrupted because Henry was running to town to run errands. We need a part for the repair of the old water system. So, there we go. So all I'm going to do is pull a hot jar out of here, empty it. I'll do a couple of them at a time. And I will do that. We want a 1/4 inch kind of space. Which means I need to get more liquid in here. I'm going to use a ladle for that. I do have a ladle with cornstarch. One of those things I picked up on Amazon years ago. Handy for things like this. There we go. Then I have a piece of paper towel, hot water, that's clean, and I'm going to wipe the rim because I don't want any debris on the edge of that. There's a brand new canning jar lid, a ring. Ooh, that's hot. Which is good, it's supposed to be. There we go. Finger tighten. and into the water to wait for everything else to be done. And I'm just going to keep doing that until I'm out of relish. Okay. Get a small spoon, because small spoons are easier to get in there to make sure everything is down where it should be. Take a little tiny bit of this relish out of there. I try and be pretty picky about my levels. I know that a lot of people are not as picky as I am. I just try not to add any more variables to the process than I need to. We used to have to preheat those. They now tell you not to. So, since they've told us not to, I haven't been, and it's worked fine most of the time. So, there we go. And I'm just going to keep doing that till that's empty. It's up to about here, so I have a ways to go. Progress. So I filled this water bath canner with relish, and the normal recipe is for 10 minutes, but because of our altitude it has to be 20. So they've been processed for 20 minutes and they've been taken out and they're sitting there now. I didn't want to have to hold this batch here, so I just grabbed our smaller water bath canner, and it's got another 6 or 8 jars in there. So yeah, we will have a goodly stock of sweet relish. Henry particularly likes this on burgers, as I recall. So, and the dill relish he likes on hot dogs. Yeah. So, there we go. This was a gigantic pile of cucumbers from the greenhouse. We don't have any peppers this year, so when I was at the grocery store, I looked into a sale on organic bell peppers. So it's basically bell peppers, onions, and lots of our cucumbers, plus spices and vinegar and sugar, brown sugar. So Henry loved it, so he'll have a goodly quantity. There's 13 jars here, like I said, about 6 or 8 in there. I didn't count them, I just got it set. 11 more minutes from now and it'll be done too, and I'll stash them in another spot over here, probably in the corner. I'll let them set for a while and get on to something else. So, we're not doing nearly as much of this type of canning anymore as we used to do, but this is one of those things that really does need to be canned. Most of the food preservation we're doing now, with the exception of a few things which are frozen, like when we do a big batch of Texas chili, we will freeze some of it for quick meals here, but most of it gets freeze-dried. So we're splitting some things like that. Our chicken chili, sometimes we also can a little bit here, but a lot of that just plain gets freeze-dried because then it can be used any place we want to use it. And it's not a problem. It rehydrates beautifully. In fact, we had some the other day. We were both tired and Henry's like, got any ideas? And I'm like, yes, chicken chili. So it's all homemade. You know exactly what's in it. You don't have to worry about ingredients, allergies, etc., etc. It's delicious. You know exactly how it's been handled. So yeah, there are things like jams and jellies and pickles that still need to be jarred up like this. We call them canning in the United States, but it's actually jarring if you want to get technically. And that's it for now. I have a million things on my list today. Henry's on the way back from the grocery store. He got stuck in a traffic jam caused by a car show that we didn't know was going on. So, yeah, such fun. I'd much rather be washing dishes than sitting in traffic right now. So, until next time, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell because obviously we have a ton going on. Managed to set the smoke detector off, so I probably need to vacuum that. It shouldn't have shut off that easily. But Rufus knows exactly what to do. He goes to the door and I let him out. So I think the cat slept through it, but I know where she was sleeping, so I could have thrown her out the door if I needed to. We've always trained our animals that when the smoke detector goes off, they go out the door. So they don't like the noise anyway, so, you know, makes sense. Anyway, until next time, bye! Oh, and be sure to keep on brainstorming, because obviously we are. Stuff. 8.5 minutes left. Woo!